Prue McSween, businesswoman, Sky commentator, and Caleb Bond, journalist. Welcome to both of you. Looking forward to the weekend?
Sure.
Indeed, bring it on.
Thanks,
Actually, I'm
Smithy.
working the weekend, so, you know,
Same here.
I bring it on in some ways, but great fun.
Yes, just pretend. That's what I do on the weekend. I just pretend. It's okay.
I'll
Prue,
think of you as I'm having 20 drinks.
yes,
Oh, thank you.
the Friday approach. Prue, I was so pleased to hear the Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, with what he had to say last night and standing up against cancel culture and identity politics. You know, it's funny, just when you think he's steering over to the left-hand side, he comes back to reassure us. What were your thoughts?
I loved your editorial, Smithy. It was so spot on. Yes, I'm pleased. As you said, it's way late, but at least he's tuning in. You know, Middle Australia, the quiet Australians have been fed up with this crap for so long. And we've been, you know, categorised, we've been intimidated, we've been shamed into thinking what we have had in our past has been so terrible, so offensive that it's had to be cancelled. And what we're thinking now in terms of boys and girls, and if people want to have a choice about their sexuality, they can later. Let's not try and indoctrinate and brainwash little kids while they're at school. But the thing that worries me, Smithy, is I think it's all too late. We've seen this great march through our institutions, our education system. To this day, little kids are being brainwashed. Universities, marketers of brands, in, you know, all sorts of areas of our country, we have had this bull happening. And I just really fear for it. All I can say is I just hope that the quiet Australians, when they come to voting again, think about who's pushing this crap and who is against it.
Caleb, is it too late?
It is. It's about time as an Australian political leader stated the bleeding obvious in this regard. I mean, normal people don't care about identity politics because normal people are trying to put meals on the table, support their children and make a better life for themselves and their children. And an I think it's fair to call her an ex-feminist friend of mine, once very succinctly explained to me what the problem was with identity politics, and that is that there are a lot of people who are quite genuine about trying to make things more equal, but there are a lot of people who create an industry out of identity politics. And in order for them to keep making money, they have to keep perpetuating that someone is a victim or that someone is being oppressed. Yeah. And so she said, as a feminist writer as she was then, that there were all these people who were involved in feminist writing who were actively trying to stop equality being achieved because, of course, if they achieved the equality that they were supposedly wanting, they wouldn't have anything to write about. They wouldn't have a job anymore. And that is really the crux of identity politics, is trying to drive people apart, not bring them together, so that these people can keep perpetuating their victim culture so that they've got something to do. That's not how real people think.
Yeah, well said. I want to bring you to fast rail, Prue, because we've now got a premier, not just a backbencher or an opposition leader pushing for fast rail. We've got Gladys Berejiklian in New South Wales looking at an interstate fast rail network which will encompass the intrastate centres like Newcastle, etc. It's a terrific post-pandemic infrastructure boost, isn't it?
Oh, it's brilliant, but we've been talking about a fast train for what, well over a decade, probably more. No one has had the guts or gumption to do it. It is a no-brainer. We know our cities, our major metropolitan cities, are just going crazy. They're impossible to live in. We've got all this land. It would revitalise our economy. Of course we should do it. Gladys, get on that train and get cracking.
If any of them can do it, it's the New South Wales Premier. Go Gladys, I would have thought. Now, Caleb, I've got to take you to the UK where a primary school principal has decided to outlaw things that she regards as sexist, like you can't say, "Good morning, boys and girls." You can't tell the older high school students, "Man up." You can't say, "Hi there, guys." How about they just stick to teaching?
Well, no wonder the academic results in most of the Western world are going down when this is what schools and teachers concern themselves with. I mean, we're going back to David Morrison, remember, when he was Australian of the Year and put out all these statements about how you couldn't say hello guys to people because it wasn't inclusive. Once again, there is not a single person on earth, apart from some, probably brain-damaged people, who are upset with someone saying hello boys and girls or hello guys or grow a set. I mean, seriously, who gives a stuff? If people think that this is what's going to change the world, no wonder kids are coming out of school with not a hope in hell of any kind of academic achievement.
They don't know which way to look, seriously. I want to raise Tim Tams because the ATO is worried that after a lockdown period like we've had, people are going to claim everything that they do at home that they normally would do and buy for work, including Tim Tams. Now, come on, Prue, if you've replicated work at home, surely you can claim Tim Tams.
Well, mate, yeah, except I'm too mean to serve Tim Tams at work, so they're not on my menu. Tight ass, I'm a tight ass. But look, when I think back to when I was working from home, which was 5 days a week, really I worked 6 or 7 days, but say 5 days a week, it was always at home. I was Zooming, so it wasn't, my costs were more on the IT side, not on Tim Tam's side. I mean, I'd be shoving other stuff down, but it was more of the liquid variety, probably. I don't think I could claim that.
Yes.
All right, finally, Caleb, cheating in last year's Year 12, again, the lockdown year, has massively increased, especially plagiarism. It was a tough year. Shouldn't the examiners have been a little bit more understanding? They were locked down and having to teach themselves for most of the year, especially if you're in Victoria.
Well, this is true, and I agree with you that there should have been some leniency in the way the system worked. I think they probably should have looked at whether people got a bit of extra time or whether the exams were slightly more lenient. But I don't think it's right to be cheating. I mean, they're talking about kids apparently taking electronic devices, mobile phones and these sorts of things into exams. And, my God, I would have been scared about the wrath that would have been felt if I'd taken a mobile phone into an exam. I can't believe the gumption these kids have got to do something like that.
Yes, all the alphabet written on the wooden pencil. Not that I know about that.
Private school kids have an advantage, or private school boys, because they can hide things under their tyres, you see.
That's right. Caleb, I've got to run. Prue McSwede, Caleb Bond, enjoy your weekend, even if you are working. Thank you.